everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week, kind of crazily, it's the last week before London Marathon, which means that I am fully in taper. I am doing way more chilled out runs, which is very nice, finally, and I'm going to bring you along to one of my runs today. So London Marathon is taking place on the 3rd of October, and I've been training specifically actually for an ultra marathon called Beyond the Ultimate that's taking place in Knoydart in the Scottish Highlands, and that's taking place towards the end of October. And London Marathon is technically a training run for that race. I have been gifted my place in London Marathon by Heuer, and I actually wanted to do a review of their new connected sports watch. I'm wearing it at the moment. It is honestly one of the most beautiful watches I have ever worn in my entire life. And for those of you who kind of want a watch for work, for parties, but then also for your sports and fitness as well, I think this is the watch for you. So I'm going to do like a little bit of a review, and then I'm going to take you guys out on my slow and short run. I am done with fast-paced training until after London Marathon itself, because I don't want to overdo it in the lead up, and then I'll be picking up some other training, some more interval sessions and hill work prior to Beyond the Ultimate Highlands Ultra as well. But today I'm going to be doing a short run around Bristol in some of the more beautiful places. The sun has also been shining on and off today, so fingers crossed for some nice weather. But first of all, I want to talk you through the sports watch that I'm wearing here and tell you about all the functionality and features that it has. Okay, so this is the watch, and I've taken it off so that I can better show you the features that it has. Obviously, since primarily you guys watching will be runners, I want to kind of show you what it's got in terms of the running functionality. But first of all, I want to show you my favorite bit, which is that you can change the watch face to whatever you like. So if you prefer a kind of more sporty look, you can change it to that, or if you prefer to have like a very classic look, which is what I like, you can change it to that as well. It's like a beautiful navy background, and then it shows sunrise, sunset, and then the weather as well, and you can kind of customize the face entirely. So if you click that button there, you can change the background to different colors. You can choose, say you choose a red one, then you can also change what other features are on the watch. So like you've got sunrise, sunset on that side, and then you can change the minute and hour hands as well. There you go. So whatever you like, whether it's for different functionality or just for a different sort of look, you can change it on there. And you can also have more features if you look on the Heuer Connected app as well to change it to exactly what you like. Okay, let's stick with that one. So that's the red, and it is absolutely beautiful. As you can see here, the watch straps are also removable. I have a black one here, which was what it originally came with. You can choose, but then also you can customize it. And they've also got some very fancy, very nice leather ones and other kind of smarter style ones if you want to be moving it from kind of like a daytime sports watch to your standard evening beautiful kind of, you know, a normal watch that doesn't necessarily look like a sports watch but has all the functionality of that as well. I've put this on airplane mode at the moment, but it also has all of my messages on it, which is why I put it on airplane mode, because I don't want you guys all reading those. But yeah, you can share all of your messages directly to your watch itself, which is extremely cool and useful. I want to change this back to the blue because I prefer the blue one. Okay, so for you guys who are runners or other sports people, golf players, you will be extremely impressed with this watch. I feel like that's what this watch was primarily made for. Golf players and people who want a kind of multi-fitness, multi-functional watch. As you can see here, mine is on running already, but we've got golf, running, cycling, walking, fitness, so I use that one at the gym, swimming, indoor running, other, and then you can see the history of your runs as well. So I've been using this watch for several weeks now, so I've got many runs in there. The watch has its own inbuilt GPS, which means that you don't have to run with your phone, which is something that I've struggled with in the past. If I wanted to leave my phone at home, then my watch hasn't necessarily picked up GPS, whereas this, as you can see, it picked it up super quickly, and that's in a city. Yeah, it has inbuilt GPS so that you guys don't have to worry about carrying your phone or not. Obviously, I will be wearing this watch on my run today, so I can show you what it looks like when you're actually on a run, and also the connected app afterwards, because it has a lot of data that you can see on here when you look at the history, but also you can go onto the app and then it shares some more in-depth data in there. When you are running, it has a dedicated heart rate screen, which is is kind of aimed at those who want to train by heart rate. So if you do a lot of ultramarathon training, as I know a lot of you guys will, then training by heart rate can be super useful. I don't personally do it, but I know that when I'm doing my recovery runs, for example, I want my heart rate to be staying really low. So, you know, 140 to 150, thereabouts. Obviously for different people it will be different, but you have the heart rate screen on there when you are doing your training, and that means that you can control your heart rate really easily. You can kind of see it right on the screen rather than having to scroll through like 5 different pages of data to try and find what your heart rate is doing. And it does it all in different zones. There are 5 different zones. Those of you who train by heart rate will know all about this, but that's super useful. You get zone 1, which is like warm up, to zone 5, which is peak training, and that's kind of goes right up to your max heart rate. So for those of you who are more interested in this watch as like a lifestyle watch, it also has loads of data on what you are doing day to day. So obviously it has a step counter, and it has loads of information on like how much you're moving and your resting heart rate. This isn't on me at the moment, so it's obviously not going to show my heart rate, but it would usually show heart rate in the middle, and then these rings, we all recognize these. That kind of shows what you are doing day to day and whether you hit your step goal. Today I have been extremely lazy and have not gone out on my run yet, so the steps are relatively small, but as you do more it goes round, and then when you hit your step goal, that circle completes and you know that you've done a good job. And you can set up the different goals that you want on the Connected app. So if you don't want to just do 10,000 steps, maybe you want to do 12,000 or 15,000 or fewer than 10,000, you can set that all up on the app, and it will give you loads of functionality on the goal setting that you want to do. And then it's actually very satisfying having one of those rings complete. And I don't always do 10,000 steps a day, but mostly I do. And when I get that buzz towards the end of the day saying that I have completed my 10,000 steps, it is very, very satisfying. So I really like that feature, and it does tell you when you're done as well. So if you swipe down from that, then you get all the steps that you've done, different times, a different day, calories that you've burnt, and also your heart rate. Today my heart rate's been extremely high. You can see it says 71 as my average heart rate, which I'm not sure about that, but I am quite tired today and possibly a little bit overtrained. So that explains that, and that's also really good information to have. Okay, so I talked a little bit earlier about the adaptable style of this watch, and I just wanted to show you about changing the watch face on the Connected app. Great, so my watch is now connected. This is the Tag Connected app. So they have several different apps available. So this one you get the most in-depth information, but there are also other apps that come kind of automatically with it. But I recommend downloading the Tag Connected app because it's got loads more stuff on it. And when it comes to the different watch faces, you can do it either on the watch, or if you want more kind of in-depth stuff, you can go onto here and you literally just press that button, and then there you go. Already on there. So it feels like something out of The Sims, you know, where you download something and then it appears in your house. It's kind of like that. I say this as someone who doesn't watch The Sims, play The Sims, so I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it feels like very, very smart. Yeah, so this is the one that I had before. I do really like this one because it's got loads of information in it. So download that. It's obviously got the time, it's got your upcoming meetings, it's got your calories and your steps. I think this one's probably got the most information, but it's not quite as chic as the other one that I was showing you before. But obviously, with all of this different functionality, you can choose exactly what works for you at that time. So you can have like a really smart one for the evenings, or you can have this one for the day when you want to be seeing what's coming up next in your day. Last but not least, about the adaptable styles, it has, as I mentioned before, lots of different watch straps. Quite often with previous watch straps, I found it really difficult to change them, but this one's super duper easy. You literally just take off the things, and they've got these, like, I don't really know what to call them, like a little tab there that means you can take it off and put it back on really easily. Sorry, I'm not filming this particularly well, but there you go. That took me all of like 2 minutes, and I have a different watch almost entirely. So that's super smart. I like the orange one because it stands out. It's something a little bit different, but the black one is obviously a little bit more pared back and possibly going to be more popular for a lot of people. One last thing that I wanted to share before I go on my run is that this watch strap is fully adjustable. So one thing that I struggle with a lot of running watches is that you get this bit on the outside flapping around if you have really small wrists, which I do. So because you can change this here to basically make this strap any size you like, even if you have really small wrists, you can literally make it exactly the size of your wrist, so you don't have a flapping around watch, which obviously means that it would be very bad at detecting your heart rate, but also you don't have this extra little bit being extremely annoying out and about. So it is entirely adjustable, so whether you have quite large wrists or very small wrists like me, you can actually make it fit your size no matter what. So So without further ado, I'm gonna head off on my run today. I am not planning anything particularly strenuous. I'm gonna be keeping it very, very chilled. Don't wanna overdo it. And actually, you know what? There is nothing you can do in the 2 weeks before a marathon to improve your fitness. You can only mess it up. So I'm gonna try not to mess it up, keep it super chilled and make the most of the sunshine. So let's go. I've just set off on my run. Like I said, I'm taking it super easy at the moment. I tend to do my easy runs by feel, so I won't necessarily do it by pace, but approximately my pace, my easy runs is around 5:20 to 5:45 per kilometre. That feels relatively comfy for me. I got in at 3 o'clock this morning back home, so it's especially important not to overdo it with the speed or the intensity on today's run. So like I said, I do it by feel because actually it's going to feel a little bit harder than usual, so I'm going to keep the pace right down and try to keep my heart rate right down as well. Slow runs, I love to listen to podcasts. Problem with listening to music is quite often it gets you all pumped and you kind of want to go fast and you end up overdoing it. Podcasts on the other hand, super chilled, keeps you distracted. It's like having a conversation with someone as you go along. I'm listening to How to Save the Planet. It's one of my favourite. It is about, well, kind of does what it says on the tin. It's about how to save the planet, like lots of different planet solutions that we have. Really, really enjoy it. It's by Dr. Heuer Johnson, and she's great. She knows her stuff, and you know, I come back and I feel kind of like a little bit more educated and generally pretty good as well, because despite the fact that it's about climate change, it is quite upbeat and positive. And if you guys want to check out my podcast recommendations, I do have a blog post and a vlog on my favorite podcasts. Thoroughly recommend checking them out and giving it a go on your next long or recovery run. At the moment. It's one of my favourite places to run here in Bristol. It's just such a nice area. You get the water. When the sun's shining as well, it's just like the best part of Bristol, I think. And it's flat, which is a nice added bonus, especially for a slow recovery run. That's where Rhian used to live, up there. Not bad, is it? And the classic Bristol colourful houses. I'm about 4.5 kilometres in, just turning back to go back the way that I came. It's actually feeling easier than usual. I think that's because by this point in the week I usually would have done an interval session, so I'd be very tired. Also, it's a lot more flat than usual, which obviously helps. So just trying to use the heart rate thing on the watch to make sure that I'm keeping it nice and slow, because my heart rate's a little bit higher than I would like and I'm going a little bit faster than I would like, so just going to take it super easy on the way back. it's all uphill on the way back, so that's gonna be fun. My legs are definitely complaining a little bit sooner than expected, although it's felt relatively easy this run. I feel like not getting enough sleep makes my knees hurt. Does anyone else feel this? Literally going up the stairs earlier today was miserable, completely miserable. So that's a good advert for getting lots of sleep, I think, and that'll definitely be a priority over the next few days. But anyway, yeah, one big hill to go, and then we're back. Done. Anyone who lives in Bristol or has ever been up that hill knows it's extremely steep. I think that might be the first time I've ever run the whole way up it, so but there's something to be said about doing a mountain race like MCC for making all other hills feel entirely insignificant. Although I gotta say, even Windmill Hill did not feel insignificant today, even after MCC. Climb up our local hill. It's stunning here. I wouldn't usually finish up a run with it because it's a massive ass hill, but it's such a beautiful evening. I thought definitely don't want to miss this, especially since it's supposed to be raining like all the way up until London Marathon. I will show you the views once we get to the top, but just to give you an oversight of my run so far, done 8 kilometers. Relatively easy, felt pretty good. I'm not doing a classic taper because I have a big weekend this weekend, because obviously my ultimate goal is the Beyond the Ultimate Highland Ultra. Hi puppy! Hi! I know this dog. So I'm doing like 60 kilometers this weekend, so it's supposed to be taking it a little bit easier at the moment. Anyway, the view, have a look. So this is the whole of Bristol. You have central Bristol over that way. Over this way you have Ashton Court, Clifton Suspension Bridge, and Clifton over there. It's stunning. This is stunning. So my heart rate's finally gone down to 130-ish. So I'm gonna just jog back home, which is thankfully all downhill from here on out. Downhill and the grass is nice and soft underfoot, which is preferable for me. Save my sore, tired knees. Run done. I don't know, I wasn't super psyched for today's run, but having done 8.5k, I feel really good. The really nice weather definitely helps, and the fact that I know that it's done now. I don't know if you guys are exactly the same, but I don't always look forward to every run that I do, but once it's actually done, I feel really good about it, and that's exactly how I feel today. It is, as I said, and as you guys saw, an absolutely beautiful evening, so yeah, really happy that I managed to get out and make the most of that. Yeah, the watch was really good. The GPS was on point. I was making sure that I was tracking it both directly on my phone and also on the watch, although obviously the watch can still upload directly to Strava as well. And the GPS was exactly the same on both of them, so 100% accurate, which is really nice and quite often a little bit rare. Hello! Hi! Oh my god, look at that tail. Hi! Hello, hello. Hi, 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 hi. Oh, you are so cute. Best part of coming back from a run. Doggo attack! Doggo attack! Yeah. Hello. Oh, you naughty dog. Naughty dog. So, I'm back. I made it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about post-run routines, recovery. I know a lot of you guys will be doing London Marathon or other marathons coming up, and it's not too late to just make sure that you're focusing loads on recovery. As soon as I get back, I have a big glass of water. Rehydration is super important, and especially on hot days like today, I always have some rehydration salts, so an electrolyte mix. There are loads of different ones you can get. There are several that I've recommended on here. I do like Fizz for travel, that's really good. Active Root is great for on the run, but post-run, I always have the Vivo one. The Orange and Baobab is absolutely delicious. I am an ambassador for them. This is not necessarily an ad for them. I just really rate it. I think it's really good. And rehydration is super important. After that point, obviously after a shower, I tend to ice any niggles that I have. For me, that is my foot, my tib pos, posterior tibialis, and just kind of ice it for like 20-30 minutes. I just put the ice little sachet things inside my socks and just suck it up. It's cold and horrible, but it is really important to get rid of any inflammation. In the lead up to your race, you really don't want some extra inflammation because obviously the race itself is going to cause quite a lot of that itself. And ibuprofen, although it's great for reducing inflammation from injuries, it is damaging to your kidneys if you take ibuprofen when you are on the run. So I try and limit those sorts of painkillers because they're not very good for your kidneys and they can cause serious problems. So don't take those on the run and just ice instead. Obviously paracetamol's fine if you are in serious pain, but if you're in serious pain, you should be questioning whether or not is a particularly good idea to be doing something like London Marathon. And then after that, I tend to have a protein shake or some sort of food with protein in it. Again, I use Vivo Life Protein. The maca salted caramel is the best thing in the entire world, but also if you want just like real food, something like rice and beans is really good. I often have Marmite and peanut butter, not together, although apparently that's a thing, on crumpets or toast, just to get in some carbohydrates as well as a little bit of protein as well. But you will probably know what you prefer in terms of protein sources, whether that is real food or supplements. Supplements are sometimes just quite a lot easier, especially if you're in a rush. You can make a shake before you even go out and like neck it when you come back, which is great if you're on your way to work in the morning or just like very, very busy in the evenings. Other than that, that's kind of it. I just make sure that I try to eat within 30 minutes of getting back, especially if I'm doing a huge amount of training. I think so many people focus so much on exactly how much mileage they're getting, you know, the sessions that they're doing, the paces that they're hitting, and let things like recovery and nutrition slide. And recovery and nutrition are literally key part of your training. They are not separate to your training, they are part of your training. So you really need to make sure that those are on point. Same goes for after the race itself, after the marathon. I think I will do a vlog on recovery from big races because it is a really important part of your training if you want to be going back to running after your race, which I would probably think that most of you do. You probably don't want to be taking off like the next 6 months. So recovery is really important. That's that little rant over. I'm going to help myself to some of this and then go and sit in the sunshine while I neck my very large glass of electrolytes. I just wanted to show you a little bit more about the app. Obviously I talked already about the different watch faces, but you can go and look at, this is the day. So this is kind of like what my heart rate's been doing. It is massive peak during my run, 185 beats per minute max. So much for a recovery run. Lots of steps, so that's the step count. Obviously, it was pretty empty before, so very nice to see that nearly full. I will reach that by the end of the day. And then I have my run, and you can go into the run itself, and it gives you loads of information like the distance, pace, duration, heart rate, calories, and pace analysis. It's got loads of in-depth statistics and data, which, I mean, if you guys know me, you'll know that I'm a massive data nerd, so massive fan of this app. The app itself is not obligatory, like the watch will work without the app. I just really enjoy being able to go through all of this afterwards. So this is not great for me because it was supposed to be a relaxed run, but obviously because of my late night last night, the fact that I'm a little bit tired, my heart rate was higher than usual. So that's actually really useful information to know. And these are the different heart rate zones that I was talking about at the beginning. And then it talks about your splits, how you ran for each particular kilometer. And then you can go through the individual kilometers here and see how you kind of break it down into each kilometer. Like that would be really useful for a race, I think, if you wanted to see like how you did during the race at each particular stage. But yeah, that's the app. It's really good. Well, that is it for this week's vlog. All that there is really left to say is a huge good luck to anyone taking part in London Marathon or any other marathons coming up. You've done all the hard work. The training is complete. Now it's the fun bit. So definitely go out there, enjoy it. I've only run one marathon in my life, and I'm absolutely terrified, but I fully intend to enjoy the day. Remember, you've paid to be there. You are only there voluntarily, and a lot of you will be running for a really good cause as well. So try to enjoy it. It is such a great atmosphere from what I hear. So I'm really, really excited to take part, and good luck, good luck, good luck. Thanks again for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. That is it for this week. There'll be plenty more running content coming your way, including the London Marathon vlog itself. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Thanks again. Bye.